LeBron James recently passed Shaquille O'Neal on the NBA's all-time scoring list, taking over the number 7 spot. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar holds the number 1 spot with 38,387 points, almost 10,000 higher than LeBron. Looking at the top 10 list, the only other player that has not retired is Dirk Nowitzki at number 6. He is currently 38 years old and doesn't have a realistic possibility of taking over the number 1 spot. The only other active players on the top 25 list are Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo being the only one that could potentially take over the number 1 spot at some point, but it still seems unlikely, and even if he did, he wouldn't beat LeBron to it. There's no real competition of someone reaching the total before him and raising the points in the number 1 spot. So the question really becomes, can LeBron James score another 10,000 points before he retires? To attempt to answer this question, we could look at the other players on the list and see their scoring patterns at this point in their career. LeBron is 32 years old, so let's look at Kareem at age 32. From this point, he played an additional 9 years in the NBA, retiring at age 41. In these 9 years, he scored over 14,000 points, averaging well over 1,500 per year. If LeBron were to mirror Kareem, he would obviously achieve it, and if he mirrored his average, he would do it within 6 or 7 years. If LeBron follows Kareem's pattern, it is easily achievable. Number 2 on the list is Karl Malone, who played an additional 8 seasons from age 32. Retiring at 40. He even went to the finals at age 33 and 34. From age 33, he scored 13,585 points, averaging 1,700 per year. Again, if LeBron mirrored this, he would achieve the number 1 spot, and if he mirrored the average, it would take him 5 or 6 more years to do it. Number 3 on the list is Kobe Bryant, who played an additional 5 years after reaching age 32, retiring at 37. From age 33, he scored 5,775 points, averaging only 1,100 per year. The problem with Kobe is that his final years were hindered by injuries, only playing 107 total games in the last 3 years and scoring 2,000 points. At age 34, Kobe was on track to take over the number 1 spot, but his body didn't allow it. If LeBron suffers injuries in the way Kobe did, he would have to play well into his 40s and probably wouldn't do it. Number 4 on the list is Michael Jordan. From age 32, he played an additional 4 years and won championships at age 33 and 34 with scoring averages near 30 points per game. Keep in mind, he missed 3 years in the middle here and didn't retire officially until age 39. Jordan scored a total of 7,803 points in these years, averaging almost 2,000 per year. If LeBron followed this pattern exactly, he wouldn't make it. But if he kept the 2,000 point per year average, it would take him only 5 years to do it. The only reason Jordan didn't make the number 1 spot himself is because he retired 3 times and missed a total of 4.5 years. Wilt Chamberlain is 5th on the list, but I don't think he's a good player to make comparisons. He had some crazy scoring years, including one where he averaged 50 points per game. I don't believe he's a good indication of what LeBron could accomplish. What we learned from these comparisons is that LeBron is in a better position than any of the other leaders were at his age, and that it's possible for players of an older age to average the points that LeBron needs. Kareem, Malone, and Jordan all played until they were at least 39 years old, so it also shows that having a long career may be necessary to achieve these numbers. From looking at the example Kobe set, we see that injuries could easily ruin someone's chances of getting to the top of the list. We've seen that it's completely possible to score 10,000 points after age 32, but is it possible for LeBron? Well, besides his advanced age, there's nothing to indicate that he would experience any major injuries. Since he started in 2003, he has never missed more than 13 games in a season. His scoring is very consistent as well. Since he went to play in Miami in 2010, he has averaged between 25 and 27 points every year. His career average is 27.1. His average as a member of the Heat is 27.2, and as a Cavalier, it's 26.9. It is all in the same range. Since he's returned to Cleveland, he averages a little under 2,000 points per season, and there's no reason to believe he wouldn't continue to do this. Here's an example of a way he could achieve the #1 spot. A scenario like this is consistent with what LeBron has done in previous years, as well as what other players on the list have done in their later years. Another thing I want to address is points in the playoffs. They're not included in the totals we've been discussing. The argument for not including them is the fact that half the players don't make the playoffs each year, and it's unfair that they don't have the same opportunity to earn these additional points. To me, the playoff points are more important. If they were counted toward these totals, they would be thought of as an extra reward for doing well in the season. It may even encourage players to try harder throughout the year. At the very least, there should be 2 separate totals mentioned when talking about the topic. One for the season, and one overall that includes the playoffs. If the playoff totals were to be included, it would actually help LeBron quite a bit when climbing the list. Currently, LeBron is ahead of Kareem in total playoff points, just past him as a matter of fact. In fact, Michael Jordan is the only person ahead of LeBron, and I can say with confidence LeBron will pass him either this year or the next. But since LeBron is already ahead of Kareem, all the points he scores in the playoffs would only help catch him on the list. It would greatly increase his chances of doing it, and would help him do it much sooner, but that's not how the system works, and for now, it's insignificant when making the comparison. So will LeBron become the #1 scorer? My prediction is yes. There's 2 major things that could prevent him from doing it: injury and early retirement. But if LeBron plays late into his 30s and remains mostly injury-free, I don't think it should be a problem. Kareem retired in 1989 and still holds the #1 spot, and we're still years from somebody potentially passing him. So if LeBron makes it to the top of the list, who has the potential to pass him? That's something to investigate in a future video. Let me know in the comments if you think that LeBron can top the list, as well as anyone else you think has the potential to do it. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more in a similar style, be sure to subscribe by clicking the logo so you know when I upload a new one.